Laia, I need to go for 1 minute and I'll be back.
Hello, everybody. We will wait like 5 minutes to start.
Hi. Hi, Laia. Leah, hi. You're on mute. I will try to give you the host permission. Just a minute. Okay, now you are the host.
Okay. Can you give host also to Davinia Hernandez Leo?
Yes,
who? To
Davinia HR, yes.
Okay, I'll find that. Yeah, I will. Oh, I cannot. You have to, because I give you the host permission. Now you have to give her the permission.
Okay. I don't know how to do that. I will try.
Okay.
Make host. Okay, yes, I found it.
Yeah? Good.
You are a host, Davinia.
Okay, but now you're not the host, just
Okay.
you have to make a co-host or handle or control the session. Okay?
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
We'll go to
Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you.
Yeah. I share in the chat for all of you a link. Welcome to this session, ILD and Net Crumble session. You will find through this link basic kind of worksheet with an introduction to the tools, links to key resources, our contact, and key references. And in the resources, you find a link to the tools themselves, and also links to videos, some introductory videos and tutorials, and so. So yeah, I hope this is short but useful, so that you can follow. Maybe I can already start. Laia, shall I start? So I will be in charge of introducing ILD, and then Laia will continue with more details for the case of the scramble. In ILD is really, as I said before, a customizable infrastructure. So there are many tools within it. Even if you see the main, and also it will be a very practical session. So essentially we'll be showing, demo showing the tools. So in the case of ILD, you see that here in the main page, we say it's an all-in-one learning design platform. I have to share my screen, sorry. I was talking without sharing my screen. Now I hope you can see. Okay, so we say that it's an all-in-one learning design community platform. So it's really a community platform, kind of social network, social infrastructure for designers, for teachers, or for practitioners. And there we have integrated. If you go, you can register using your Google accounts, for example, if you want. And then if you go inside, I have it open in another window. so that I can show everything somehow quickly. If you go inside, you will see that there are, in this demo installation of ILDE, you will see that there are already a number of designs created. You can go to the community and see the members in this demo installation, where we are integrating the new developments that we are achieving within our team at UPF in Barcelona, Universitat Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona. So it's really, let's say, the complete, the comprehensive integrated learning design version that we have, when you can play, you can see all the different features. So for example, I show the community where you can see all participants. You can also see some statistics in the in ILDE, where you can see the numbers of designs that have been created from the scratch, designs that have been reused by teachers, by duplicating the already existing designs and eventually refining, modifying them, how the designs has been explored. You can also see by tool and some information about the members in the community. So we are providing that kind of overarching community information. So you can scan the community and check the designs being created by every member in the community and that have been publicly shared, and then you have the basic statistics. Then you also can see the designs, the list of available designs, and create your own designs. For that, we provide a number of tools that we say they are for conceptualizing, and that includes the problem generation tool by the Australian colleagues, Shirley and Lori, as she presented in the previous, in her speech. Here is the generating the problem, it's the problem generating tool, but we also have other tools that are specifically focused on analyzing, conceptualizing the characteristics of the learning context, so that the designers, the teachers are ready to actually create the learning activity plans. This is what we call author, and there you can see that we have a number of tools integrated, some that are specific, for example, for collaborative learning, as Collage or Pyramid App, or the specific tool that will be presented in more detail by Laia, that is scrambling a particular ILDE installation that is only devoted to the Scramble installation and that is providing additional features. And then you can implement some of the designs into virtual learning environments, and specifically, for example, to Moodle for some of the tools that have been integrated, because we have plugins developed with colleagues at the University of Valladolid in Spain. So this is the overall idea of this comprehensive integrated infrastructure for learning design, but as you've seen, it can be very complex because there are a number of tools. So what we've been doing for particular projects is to customize this version so that only a selection of particular tools are available, and also adapting the look and feel and so on and so forth, and improving the usability all the time. So this is, for example, an installation that we have for a particular teacher training program, where the students, future teachers, they are creating didactic units and sharing the units with their peers so that they are doing peer assessment, etc. And this is another installation of makers in the classroom. So this is a collaboration with Barcelona City Town, where multiple schools in Barcelona are co-creating with our support as well, learning projects to support or for the development of digital skills, in particular maker, in the context of maker methodologies. So these are two examples of particular installations of ILDE. And now Laia will go more into details of the particular installation for the Scramble tool, that is particular learning design perspective that we have been developing recently in our team, led by Laia, and is provided in the context of the community environment of ILDE, previously called ILDE Shake, for that community features, and that is providing some extra features by being in this devoted installation. So now the floor is yours, Laia, but please feel free, all of you, if you are interested in ILDE as a community environment that is integrating different tools and that can be customized for different purposes, particular educational centers of across centers initiatives, please feel free to either post me questions in the chat. I will be answering while Laia is also presenting at Crumble, and you feel, of course, can feel free to contact us later after the workshop if you are interested in knowing more or interested in trying or interested in any collaboration. We'll be glad. Okay, now I stop sharing my screen and it's time for Laia.
Thank you, Davinia. I will share my screen also. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, well, I will provide you a short demo of how @Crumble works and what is @Crumble. Please, if you want to interrupt me, you can do that by posting questions into the chat. And if Davinia can just tell me if someone is posting questions, I will try to answer them. And feel free to do these questions while I'm presenting. So I just gave you a link to join @Crumble. If you want to test @Crumble, just join this link and you can sign up and it's open to use. So in the main page of @Crumble, you will see that we provide also check tutorials here button that you are able here to learn how @Crumble works with video tutorials step by step. So you can join and going from 1 until 7, going and learning how @Crumble works and all the features that at the moment we have. So I let you this as a resource here, just for you to know. So I will log in. You can log in with Google or just with email and an account. And here is like the environment that Davinia already presented, the ILDE Shake ILDE environment, where you can create designs, you can explore and list your designs, and also you can explore others' designs from the community. Mainly in this presentation, I will show you the editor of @Crumble. So we will go to the Create page, where you can see how a learning design or how a lesson plan looks into @Crumble. So first of all, here there is a short guidelines to show you how to start with @Crumble editor. We introduce the name of the course. You can design a course, but you can also design a workshop, activity of 2 hours, a full course of 3 months, whatever you want. So here you will place the name of the course. We can put some information here about the course, and also we can select, for instance, the topic and the educational level. Imagine that we are designing for a primary education course. So @Crumble saves automatically all the information that you introduce in the boxes. So when we pop up again the information button, the information that we have introduced is here already. Also, we can state the learning objectives of our design. Just posting the list of objectives here. Also, we can describe the evaluation just on text. We can specify the number of users that we will have, the students we will have in our design. Imagine that is a 40, or well, maybe it's too much, 20 students in our class. And the most important thing that are the dates of our course, activity, workshop, whatever. So we should specify the dates. Imagine that we are designing from 5th of July until 30th of July, and suddenly appears the timeline. The timeline is the main element of @Crumble editor, and it has a peculiarity, which is it has 2 layers. So you see that 2 icons here. The first one, this one, is the institutional icon, means that in this layer we will place the activities that will occur in class, in face-to-face, in present. And in the other layer, we will place the activities that happens outside of class. So how to create the first activities. We have here the guidelines that indicate us that we can use these both buttons. The first one is to introduce an activity. Imagine that this is the class 1, and that starts on 7 at 30th and 7, I don't know, at 4, for instance, at 2, for instance. So we have here the first class. We can navigate through the timeline, zooming out and zooming in. And you can see here that we are in the 7th of July and class number 1. We have the 3 different languages. So you can turn to Catalan, Spanish, or English. So now the calendar is in English. And then you can see here that the class is already, and it's the blue, dark blue color. So now we will create another activity, but this case it will be a homework activity that will happen out of class. Imagine we create the out of class activity, and automatically you see that we have these 2 activities in 2 different layers. So if we click on the activity, we see that each activity, when we click on it, we can configure this activity. We can change the time. We can, for instance, decide which learning objectives will be practiced in this class. For instance, in this class, I will tackle objective 1 and objective 2. And here we have the minutes of the whole session. So we have 60. In this case, I put 1 minute more, so 1 hour and 1 minute length class. And now we should decide which task we will do in this class, right? So first of all, we click here in the plus button, and we can start creating our tasks. As Diana Laurier mentioned in her presentation, this is student-oriented in the sense that here we will put what we will ask students to do in class. So for instance, here we will do, like, we will offer them a presentation or lecture, and we can here describe what is the lecture about. Here, note that the lecture automatically, the task that is created, it's 20 minutes, but we can increase or decrease this. And automatically, it calculates the time remaining for this class. So we still have 40 minutes to allocate. Then we need to decide which type. The lecture presentation will be like, for instance, understanding or neutral. So according to the Bloom's taxonomy, we can categorize this task. Imagine that it's a neutral because it's a very neutral presentation, that it doesn't ask students to remember or to, for instance, to apply or to analyze anything. Then we should select if this presentation is individual, group, or whole class, because this is the teacher explaining the lecture to the whole class. We'll select the whole class. Teacher will be present. So teacher is available face-to-face. We click this button, and it will not be graded. It's an activity that will happen in class without any affection to the grading of the students. So it will not be graded. We will do that for another activity. So the rest of the time, 40 minutes time, we will do a group activity. Or imagine applying or the concepts that we present in the lecture. So we will do an applying activity in groups of, for instance, 4 people, 4 students, and teacher also will be available because it will be an in-class activity. And this would be, for instance, graded. So we can characterize the tasks using these buttons: the time, the Bloom's taxonomy levels, the collaboration, the level of collaboration between the students, the teachers present, and the grading mode. So once we have done this for this activity, you see that we can navigate through these buttons to the homework, and we can ask, for instance, students remembering activity, watching a video at home. So this will be an individual activity that will not, teacher will be not present, And for instance, it will be for auto evaluation, and it will take 60 minutes. So we have an example of two sessions. We could design here all the sessions for the whole month course using the timeline. Now I will explain you how to put the resources. You see that each activity can have different resources. The resources panel in Scramble is on the left side, so we can navigate through this. We can click on this click button and navigate through all the resources available. The resources are categorized between different labels like files, applications, like Edpuzzle or educational technology applications, physical artifacts, like if we are using electronics, or like books, physical books, communication applications like email, forum, WhatsApp, or social ones like the most known social networks. And also we are working on incorporating also and adding MOOCs as a resource for using in the classes. So imagine that for the lecture we are planning to use a PowerPoint. So we will drag and drop the PowerPoint into the presentation lecture. You see here that when I drag and drop the resource into the task place, it appears the pop-up when I can describe, for instance, PPT for the lecture 1. I can put a description. And what's important is to decide how I will show and how I will make available this resource for our students. So I can, for instance, put the resource in a web. It will be a physical artifact. I will put it in a Google Drive, or I will store it in a, for instance, in a Moodle site and in an LMS. So in this case, I decide to put my resource in an LMS that we have in our institution. Imagine that we have a Moodle installation in our institution, and the target of this resource will be a student resource for them to access, but also is a teacher resource. But okay, we can indicate as a student resource. And if this would be a file, like it was not be like I can have the option of putting the URL to this resource or uploading a file. So I will close this. I have this resource here, and now you will see that in the timeline, it has appeared resource layer, hosting layer, LMS. This is Moodle. So it means that in this class, I will need this PowerPoint that will be hosted in the Moodle of the course. I can do that, for instance, for another resource, for instance, I don't know, like a video. So in the homework, we said that they will work watching a video. So imagine that I will put this video. I don't know if you are familiar with that puzzle application. It allows you to create videos and post questions between the videos. So imagine that we use this resource. So I will put my video in Edpuzzle, sorry. So I can go to Edpuzzle, take the link to the video, and insert it as a URL for this resource, and it will be for students. And the medium hosting time will be the web, because it's a web application. So I close this, and you see that it appears another layer in the resources. Means that in my course, it allows you to visualize the complexity of the infrastructure that I will need for my blended course. For instance, I will need this Moodle with a PowerPoint, but also I will need to access this web page of Edpuzzle for my students to access the Edcramble video. So this is one thing that Edcramble provides you to the teacher to visualize the whole design of the blended course, separated between in-class and outside of class activities, and also the resources and where we host these resources. But I still didn't mention anything about data analytics, which I was mentioning this in my pitch. Whereas we are designing at Edcramble, we have available some of analytics. Design analytics means analytics about our design that help us to make design decisions. For instance, now, because we only have 2 sessions, it's very easy to calculate how much time we spent or will our students spend in the class or outside of class in homework, for instance. But when we have a big course with different settings, it's more harder to calculate. So for instance, here you see that I activate this panel on the right side. We can see different analytics regarding our design. For instance, the first one is regarding the time that in class and outside of class of our design. So you will see here that it calculates, and it's the same, it follows the same color rules that in the timeline. For instance, in class is dark color, and outside of class is more light blue. So here we have more or less 50-50, divided the time in 50-50 out and inside class. Then we can go for more interesting analytics, which are, for instance, sorry, I can remove. So for instance, the tasks. You remember that we had the opportunities to select the Bloom's taxonomy levels that our students will apply, another cognitive level that our students will practice in our tasks. So here, this task visualization, it provides you an idea of which type of activities will the students use. For instance, 50% of our design is remembering activities, while 40% of our design is applying activities. And we can also visualize this depending on inside, outside of class. For instance, we can see that out of class, we ask students only remembering activities, whereas in class, we just use the applying activities. And this is neutral activities, that is just a lecture, listening a lecture. So the same applies for the other one. So see that this corresponds to the first category that we can categorize the tasks here. So the other tabs are corresponding to the other three categories that we can use for characterizing our tasks. For instance, the student, and the colors are the same. So more darker, more collaboration, and teacher as more darker, more teacher presence. So, and all of these categories can be visualized in the whole, like for instance, how much time my students will work in my design at individual level, so it's 50%, or at the group level, 33%, or in the whole class, 20%. And we can also visualize this depending on in class and outside of class. And we can do also this for teachers present. So in this case, half of the course is face-to-face with the teacher, and half of the workload of the students is happening outside of class. And also regarding the assessment, if it will be activities for auto-evaluation, or activities that are not graded or graded, and so on. We are working here on visualization regarding goals. You remember that we have here indicated the objectives that each task are practicing. So we are working on a visualization regarding this student teacher present task, depending on the goals of the course. So these are type of analytics. I want to show you a video of, we have explored more kind of complex analytics in a case study that we did with University of Pittsburgh in US, that we particularly explore the concept level analytics. I would like to show you a video. I don't know if you can see now my video in my screen. If you can say Davinia or someone can confirm that the video, you can see the video?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So here I will show you a particular instance that we set up with a Scramble. Here you can see that there are resources for a Java course in a university. This was the University of Pittsburgh. They have different type of resources for learning how to program Java. So these are type of interactive resources that they have, and each of these type of resources are practicing different concepts of programming. And each resource is like articulated or is linked to different kind of concepts of each resource. So for instance, like a program, one resource, it practices different concepts. So here in the graph, you can see all the concepts of the course that the students will practice. And each time we drag and drop one resource here, it shows you how this resource will contribute at the concept level. So these are the frequencies, the number of times that a resource is practicing, for instance, this concept. Or like, for instance, I don't know if some of you are familiarized with programming courses, but for instance, these are like concepts regarding Java courses. So this visualization is very interesting because it allows you to balance the type of activities needed for practicing the concepts that we want to teach to the students. So this is to show you that we are working on different kinds of visualizations and more advanced analytics than those that you can find now in the open version of Scramble. And we are trying to do so in different contexts. In this study that we did, we just, the main result was that this type of analytics help teachers, support teachers in reducing their mental demand, their cognitive load, while they were designing the course. So it was a kind of interesting result that we get, so that design analytics could really help in order to design courses and be more precise in order to use or to select the most appropriate resources for practicing the concepts and the learning objectives that we want to teach in our courses. Okay, once finished this example of concept level design analytics, I will continue with Scramble with the version that you can see in the web. Here we have now explored analytics at the course level, but what about analytics at individual activity level? So you see here in the timeline, we see a button that is statistics. We can click this button and we can see here a visualization with a lot of wonderful colors that like at the first time it can be a little overwhelming, but it's very easy to understand. So here you have buttons on the bottom page after the timeline to activate and deactivate these analytics. So for instance, we don't want to see any of them, or for instance, if we want to explore the student collaboration. So here we see that in the dark color, because I have in my memory what the dark color means, the dark color means, and I know the icons, I should put some remembering here. But this, for instance, is for the whole group class. Here is the group, working in groups, and the more likely green is for individual work. So this visualization, for instance, I can combine this visualization with grading visualization, and I can see that the whole class activity is not graded, while the group activity is graded, and the homework activity is for auto-evaluation. So this visualization in the timeline and the colors following the colors that are used in the tasks and in the whole Scramble allows you to reflect at the course level and at the task level and visualize what we are doing while we are designing. Also, this last one indicates you this type of resources if they are teaching resources or student resources. This is more or less the idea of the analytics. These are the types of analytics. We think that Scramble and ILDE provides different opportunities to support teachers using analytics, and we distinguish between three types of analytics. This example is a design analytics support that the editor of Scramble provides, and other editors that Diana and other teams have presented in their pitches also provide. What is interesting in our approach is that the use of community analytics. These analytics alone can provide insights to teachers while they are designing, But imagine that we are, for instance, I don't know how many people is listening this talk, but imagine that we are 10 people that are 10 teachers of the same cohort of students. Imagine that these students, all of us, we are very innovative, and suddenly we use all of us video and flipped classroom approach. So we ask students to watch videos at home and like do activities in class, more active activities in class. Mainly, probably if we all of us do that, students will have 10 videos in 1 week at home, and maybe it will lose the effect of using these innovative of approaches, no, these flipped classroom approaches. So what we can do in Scramble is to use these analytics and put these analytics aggregated in an aggregated way, in a way that we can generate community analytics. I will show you this idea once I finish with the Scramble editor at the end. So I will show you how these analytics can be put together and generate aggregated analytics of different designs that are applying or are thinking to be applied in our same cohort of students, to make decisions at the institutional level, at the teachers group level, not only at the subject level or course level. So here on the top part of Scramble, you can see that you can save Scramble, you can access the help video tutorials, but also you can print this design like if were like a syllabus for your students or for you in order to have the printed syllabus of your design with your general information that you have introduced in the design, the evaluation, the different activities, the resources, and the analytics also, to have it then printed, and also like the visualization, the interactive visualization to play with the design and to make use of this visualization. What is also we have and we are working on is on providing different type of pedagogical guidelines to guide, because we think that at Scramble in our tools, they should be like neutral, pedagogically neutral, but we are aiming with these guidelines to provide some help in order to implement innovative approaches like flipped classroom or problem-based learning, or even distributed practice or practices based on neuroscience. So this is a very initial work, but you can see here that activating these buttons, short guidelines with different steps, sorry, because this is in Catalan, we should translate that it provides you the different steps that you should provide in order to apply flipped classroom, for instance. And see that the first steps are deactivated in in-class activity, because the first steps in flipped classroom are usually at home as a homework. So this is just to provide you our ideas on providing pedagogical guidelines. And we are working now especially on providing guidelines through a distributed practice. So teachers can apply distributed practice in Scramble and can see how distributed practice, and can guide teachers in order to apply and to design distributed practice in their teaching. These, I think, are more or less the overall ideas of Scramble. There is here a button of for writing the experience that you will have with this design at the implementation of the design. So once you have designed with Scramble and you go to your classes, you implement the design. Here you can write your reflections and your lessons learned, what worked well, what didn't, as an experience to share your design with others in the community. So once it's saved, we can go to the Scramble. Sorry, I forgot. Here there is a button that is give feedback. Please, if you test Scramble and find some bugs, so you want us to implement a particular feature, please put here your ideas. There is a web page with a chat that you can put and collaborate with us. Because Scramble has been built together, following with teachers and educators from the beginning, following a co-creation approach. So we are very happy that all practitioners, all teachers that are interested in using our tools provide us also feedback, and we can build all these tools together. So if we now go to Scramble, we see that here we have my designs, all the designs that we have created, and we can explore also the community, who is in the community, and the analytics of the community, as Lavinia mentioned before, who is contributing more, which type of designs, who explore for our mothers, etc. So how, imagine that I will explore a design, I don't know, through your course. This is how it looks, a design in the page, in the main page. So I can edit this design, but for instance, because it's my design, but instance, if I go to the community and explore other designs that are not mine, let's see. Here, instead of edit the design, I can see inside. So I can go inside, I can look at the design that has been published for another teacher in the community. And if I like this design, I can remix. Remix means that I can save the design to my personal account to build from the design of other teacher. So, and if I don't like the design or I just explore, just I come back to a Scramble, and that's all. But I have the possibility of building my designs from the designs of other teachers that have shared their designs in the community. So let me open, for instance, yes, another course. As you can note here, here is a short design. Here it will appear how the experience was and the general descriptor with different visualizations. I can publish this design with a link and the visualization and share this design outside of the Scramble platform and embed this design, for instance, in my LMS or in my web page, or sharing them with, I don't know, through open network pages. But also, what is interesting that I can just give my opinion, or for instance, put likes or favorites to other designs in the community and place comments, etc. And also I can see the tree, sorry, because this tree is very short, but here we will see the tree that has been, let me, if I can find another design, probably has been built. Let's try that. Maybe, no, okay. So this tree is the reusing tree. So if I can create a design and another person in the community reuse my design, in this tree it will show that my design was built upon another teacher's design. And so that you can track who started originally this design. Regarding the community analytics, you see that here there is a folder. A possibility. So I can put this, I can create folders in the Explore page, and I can put this folder, for instance, in a school folder, this design in the school folder. So imagine that we do that. If we explore like different communities of folders for different communities, for instance, Escola means these are different schools in Catalonia. So imagine that this school have 2 designs. Then I can see the aggregated analytics of these 2 designs. This allows me, as I mentioned before, to take design decisions at the community level and see, for instance, these students that are in these 2 different designs, these 2 courses, in global, how much time, how much workload they have outside of class. So this, for instance, in primary education, it's primary teachers ask us to develop this feature to discuss the homework time of the students, no? Because usually students in primary or secondary, mainly also, they are complaining with, oh, we have a lot of homework, whatever. No? So this allows teachers to decide and to see which is the teacher are putting more homework or should reduce the homework, or and so on. Or for instance, regarding how much of collaborative work they are applying in all the courses that they are, the students are in. And so this is the idea of community analytics, basically. So I think more or less I provide you an overview of Scramble. I don't know if I forgot something, but if not, you have tutorials, you can practice, you can contact us. And please, if you have any question now, just post the question to the chat or open the mic. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all of you providing the comments, and for to Laia for this very nice presentation of different features. I don't know. I think we have some time now. We have like 10 minutes for if you want to make comments, post questions. I don't know, whatever. Now the floor is for you to share, comment, or ask. I think that I've been somehow answering to several of the questions. There is one pending that is about the edit history of the designs. We do provide that feature for the basic templates in ILDE, but not really for the advanced authoring tools for the moment. Scramble is a product or a university research. So it's a university research software. So it's part of our research and our research projects. Having said that, we really want that our software development is usable, so that it can be used for practitioners and it can have some social impact. So we are not only doing like basic prototypes. However, at the same time, even if we try to do mature products, we have also to be honest that our tools are not products by companies, so that they are like highly, robust. So as I said, they are research tools, more than prototypes, functional, some tools more mature than others, but we also provide maintenance. So in our team, we have a scientific software developer that is, his job is supporting the development and also maintaining and reacting to issues of people using them. And we are very open to collaborating, for collaborations with many different institutions, and we are doing so far different kinds of collaboration, research collaborations, practice collaborations, because for us it's very important that our research is really transferring to practice, to do joint research with other institutions. So we are really open to collaboration. So our tools are available for use in the cloud, so to say, and we maintain them. And even that we can, even if there is an agreement for collaboration, we are even open to create devoted installations for several institutions, as we are doing so far. So even devoted installations for one center that is empty, unavailable for them. So this is, we offer that. So we are not a company, we do that for research, but we want our tools to be used in practice, so we provide collaboration and support, and especially interested in collaborating with different kinds of partners that enable us to keep progressing our research by identifying relevant questions, by being able to do joint research. So still some minutes in case you want to say anything else. If not, please remember, I will share again the link to the key info that we prepare for you with the main descriptions of the tools. You are, of course, very welcome to take a look at our tools. It's a possibility to integrate other languages in Scramble. Well, our tools, yes, we prepare our tools to be multilingual. And if you see, there are several installations that are, for example, only in Catalan. We provide it even in collaboration with Yishai. We started even translation to Hebrew, and I mean, that's prepared. And of course, we had in English, so yes.
And just a general question, if it will be translated to Hebrew, we can use it here in Israel?
I mean, yeah, but the translation that was started was no fee. I mean, we prepare, we send, I mean, everything is prepared, but the translation is not finished. So this is something that we started with Yishai, but it's for the ILD environment. So in case there is interest in particular in Scramble, we'll have to work on that translation together, but it's something feasible. I mean, and the tools are prepared for that. So it's something that certainly can be done, and it's one aspect of collaboration that can be established between different institutions, like providing support with the translation, and then we provide a multilingual version. Mm-hmm.
And the English version, it's available, right?
Indeed, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so feel free, the tools are, I mean, you have the links to the tools, to the videos, to our contacts, so please feel free to navigate them and let us know if you have further questions or comments, or if you are interested in collaborating to any extent with us. It has been our pleasure that you participated in this workshop. Looking forward to be in contact with all of you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
So Eli, I guess that we can now go to the other Zoom,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, go back to the,
Okay.
Thanks. We have to go to the program again and go back in.
Okay.
And I will discuss with Shai and see how we can integrate it in Meital in a way that maybe it will be useful for all institute or partners here in Israel. So
okay, good. Yes.